Alright, hello once again, Jeff Scott of Rankin Technical College, going through a series of video presentations for the Rankin Technical College AWD Application and Web Development 1111 .NET Framework with Web Databases class. The textbook for the class is ASP.NET MVC with Entity Framework and CSS by Lee Naylor. I have ascertained that the book is very difficult, so I am first wanted to go over the textbook, the free PDF online, Professional ASP.NET MVC5 by John Galloway and others. That is very much based off of the MvcMusicStore application. And, well, I already spoiled my surprise, but I have been in part 4 of this and had nothing really, pretty much nothing but trouble. Alright, what I wanted to do was run this and get this list of genres as are shown right here. Alright, well, I tried and got all sorts of errors. I got no entity framework provider, and I went and researched that, and cannot attach the file. Different cannot attach the file. There was a fix for that, so I finally went and got this. Ran it again, and looky looky, this is what I have. All right. So when I did run this, said when we run it again and go to the store URL, we see a list of our genres in our database. Well, it's a good news, bad news, I guess, type of situation. More good than bad. But the good news is, when I did run it, I saw that. The bad news is that these are no longer linked. So you can see I have no hyperlinks right here. I'm not sure why that is. I have to go and try to track that down. Alright, so with the store, browse, etc. method, we are searching for a genre by name. We only expect one result. We should never have the same genre name, and so we can use a single extension link query. It says don't type this in yet. Now this right here that you see in this, if you are following along in the handout, this on the handout is page 8 of 12, and on page 8 here it says the single method takes a lambda expression as a parameter, and this is the lambda expression. Alright, it specifies we want a single genre object, that's G, such that its name matches what we've defined. In this case, as it says, give me that genre object where the name is disco. Alright, we'll take advantage of an entity framework feature that allows us to indicate other related activities we want loaded as well when the genre object is retrieved. This feature is called query result shaping, and it enables us to reduce the number of times we need to access the database to retrieve all the information we need. We want to prefetch the albums for the genre we retrieve, so we'll update our query to include this to indicate that we want related albums as well. This is more efficient. With that out of the way, here's the updated browser controller method. Alright, before I put that in, I think I owe you what I did to at least hopefully make this thing work. And that is, this is what I had in my connection string. But over here, this said connection string. All I did was change that from connections, from name equal connection string to name equal music store entities. And again, it appears at least to work right now. Alright, so we want to go and bring up our browser control, and that should be the browser, I believe. That's the browser in here, the browse method. There it is right now, which it's not doing very much. But we don't want that. We want it in the controller. So there's browse right there. So let's copy that. Let's paste that in. Let's grab the old one that we had, and for now at least, just because I've been running into so many strange problems here, comment that out. Okay, so now we've got this in exactly as it was shown in our text, or in the handout. .genres, .include, .single, so it looks like we're chaining here. All right. We can now update the store browse view to display the albums which are available in each genre. Open the template and add a bulleted list of albums as shown below. All right. So this should be our browse.cshtml. So we are replacing that with this. Okay. All right. Running our application and browsing to the store browse genre equal jazz, and we'll do that in just a minute, should show our results are now being pulled from the database, so it should display all those jazz things. All right. Okay, so we will attempt to do that right now. So as always, let's save first, and let's run this. View it in the browser. They should be at our browse. And we will put in there, oh darn it, sequence contains no elements. Well, wonder if it's because that is broken up and it should have been in one line. Let's go back and check that first. And stop that too. So that was in our store controller in here. Okay. Let's do this. Let's go back to our index file. Let's view that in the browser. That appeared to be working. Okay. And we want to change from store index to store browse question mark genre equals jazz. All right. Now, is this the same thing right here, the same thing as what the author says we should get? The best of, etc., etc. Now, the order doesn't look the same for whatever reason, but as far as I can tell, the stuff that's in there looks the same. So that's a good sign. All right. So the author says we'll make the same change to our stored details ID URL and replace the dummy data in the database query, our dummy data with a database query. So we want to go to our details method. that should be in here. There's browse, there's our details method. Again, I think what I'll do, I don't like to introduce code bloat like this, but I am going to put that in there and keep that in there. Alright, so we now have that in. Run the application again, so let's save. Alright, and let's run the application again. And we will browse to store details 1. Alright, store details 1. And that is the same thing that you see in the handout on page 11. That is Men at Work. Now that our store details page is set up to display an album, let's update the browse link, the browse view, to link to the details view. Alright, we will use the HTML.action link, which is one of those HTML helpers, exactly as we did to link from the store index to the store browse. The complete source for the browse view appears below. So we can grab everything that's in here, copy it to the clipboard, go back to our program, go down here into our browse. Alright, Control A, Control V, so we've replaced that. Let's put this all on the same line. There we go. So we now should be able to browse from the store page to the genre page, which lists the albums. By clicking on an album, we can view the data for those albums. Again, the problem that I have for this, alright, so I can come in here and I can do a lot of what they're saying, except now when I view this in the browser, this is the same error I got before that said sequence contains no elements. Well, I want to go one more time and just try this. Store browse, question mark, genre equals jazz as they show in the book. Wow, that's exactly the way that they show it in there. Alright. Well, that's good. Now, are there still problems with this? Definitely. Alright, but I'm going to trudge on, and hopefully when we go through this as a class, we'll have a little better luck because I've already gone through it once. Alright, so I'm going to change, get rid of both of these, and that's it for this 4th lesson. In the 5th lesson, we'll come back and do edit forms and templating. My hope was to get through lessons 5 and 6 today. We'll see how that works. All right, be back shortly.